In this video, we're going to learn about scope in JavaScript. Okay, just create a new file as usual. Scope in JavaScript defines accessibility of variables, objects, or functions. There are two types of scopes in JavaScript. The first is a global scope and then local scope. Global scope means that the variable can be accessed anywhere inside a function, inside an if. Okay, this is the example of the global scope. And we can create like a hello. If we create a function here, okay, let's try to execute this function. Okay, let's try to run our browser. Okay, it will print this string hello because this is global variable. The local scope is different than the global scope. So if we declare the local scope right here, like hello world, and we try to access the local scope in here, it will throw an error because local scope is not defined here. It defines inside this print global scope function. So we cannot access this variable outside this function. How about changing this global scope? Okay, let's change this cost to let, and then we can create another function called change global scope. Okay, before printing the global scope, we can try to change the global scope first. So the global scope is changed. So we can change the global scope variable inside a function. So another thing is like how about a variable inside the if block? For example, like if you have an if global scope dot length is the length of the string inside of this function, maybe okay, can try. So it will print this high, but if we try to access this variable, it will throw an error too because the block level scope variable is owned by this if, so it's not accessible outside this if block. And one more thing, that the global variable and local variable can have the same name. It will not throw an error. Okay, we will try something here. So maybe we need to we can change this name of this local scope variable inside this function. Just change it to global scope. What will happen? Okay, we'll try to remove this code first. Refresh the page. It will still work. So the global variable and local variable can have the same name because the scope is different. If we call the global scope, it will call this local one rather than the global one. Okay, that's enough for the scope. Let's go to the next video.